Om Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. Krishna Rakshatu no Jagatraya Guruhu. Krishnam Namasyamyaham. Krishne Namarasatravo Vinihataha. Krishnaya Tasmai Namaha. Krishna Deva Samuttidam Jagadidam. Krishnasya Dasosmyaham. Krishne Tishtati Sarvametadakhilam. He Krishna Samrakshamam. Jai Srimanarayana. With Acharya's blessings, we are continuing chapter 3 of Bhagavad Gita. We finished Sloka 33. We'll start with Sloka 34 today. I'll share my screen. You can see?
You can see it.
Sri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Please chant. Indriyasyendriyasyarthe Ragadveshau Vyavasthitau Tayorna Vasamagachet Tau Hyasya Paripantinau. Let's chant together. Indriyasyendriyasyarthe Ragadveshau Vyavasthitau Lord Krishna is continuing to teach us about Karma Yoga. So, Indriyasya arthe Ragadveshau Vyavasthitau. Ragadveshau. These two terms come very, very frequently, very important. Raga is attraction, affiliation, love, basically attraction. And Dvesha is aversion, hatred, So Raga and Dvesha, attraction and aversion, Indriyasya ardhe vyavasthitau. For each sense are rooted in the object of the sense. Okay, Indriyasya ardhe, object of the senses. So each sense, now attraction and aversion of each sense is rooted or established in the object of the senses, whatever is the sense. Okay. Senses, we have 5 senses of perception, Jnanendriyas, and 5 senses of action, Karmendriyas, or organs of action. So for each one of them, there is an object. Like, for example, we have eyes that we see, and see a color or a form. Ears, we hear a music or sound. So object of the ear sense is music or sound. So for ear, there is attraction and aversion in the object of sense. So some are attracting to the ear, some are aversion or hatred for the ear. Like if the sound is too loud or noisy, then we will not be able to tolerate, right? And the music is very soothing and very nice. We are attracted towards it. So for every sense, there is a attraction and aversion. Okay, there is no exception, right? Senses are designed like that, isn't it? For example, for skin, something is soft and smooth, and something is prickly and hard. Which one anybody would like? They're attracted towards that is an object that is soft compared to something that is piercing, right? So we are attracted towards something, or for example, for skin, the temperature, object of the sense is Sita and Ushna. So if it is too cold or too hot, then it is, we do not like it. And if it is comfortable temperature for the skin, we love it. We are attracted towards it. So Lord Krishna is saying our senses are designed like that. They're attracted towards or show aversion towards the objects of the senses. Okay. Now, so tayoh vasam na agachet. One should not come under the control of those two. Tayoh is of those two. What are those two? The raga and dvesha. One should not come under the control of those two. Tau hi asya paripanthinao. Paripanthinao is enemies. So those two are one's enemies indeed. So this raga and dvesha are the enemies for us. Okay. Now, I mean, it is not like everything is going to be uniform for our senses. We cannot avoid, something that is comfortable for us, something that is not comfortable for us. We cannot avoid that. So that raga and dvesha are inbuilt. Now we should not become inbuilt in the sense that it's not like you will always get raga and dvesha. It's not like that. The variation in the experiences are inbuilt in the system. We should not become they are our enemies. We should not become under the control of those two. Like those should not be driving us, right? I mean, if we become slaves to that, then they are our enemies. We lose our way. Now, what Lord Krishna is saying here in this set of slokas is saying, he's comparing, okay, Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga, right? I mean, those who want to just get, not do their duties and then focus only on the self. That is what Arjuna wanted to do. That is what he understood as Jnana Yoga. As okay, I will totally be focused on self only. I will completely relinquish my duties, my activities, and I don't want to do any of them. So what happens in that case is what Lord Krishna is saying. So if you do not control your senses, if you do not control our senses, because our senses are designed to be attracted or to hate those experiences, sensory experiences, we will become slaves to that. They are our enemies and we will be perished. We will lose our way. So Jnana Yogi, one who wants to become a Jnana Yogi, without having their senses under control, this raga and dvesha will take over them and they will lose their way. So it is not possible for them to focus on the self. They will run after the senses. So it's important for us to control our senses and not come under the control of the raga and dvesha of the the experiences. That is more important. If we don't do that, if we are focused on self and not do the duties that we have in as karma yoga, then we will basically be destroyed by these two enemies, which are raga and dvesha, is what Lord Krishna is saying.
This paripantina is the meaning of that word. What did you say?
Enemies. They are enemies. Okay. So we cannot avoid those experiences, right? And we cannot just relinquish our senses, So they will basically, if we do not control our senses, if we do not have control of our senses and try to do, focus only on the jnana part, then we will not be successful. Okay.
It's very tough.
Yeah, I mean, in one way, Lord Krishna is not saying that, oh, you leave all your, basically whatever you are doing, just leave it and then go and do the meditation. So, for example, go to Himalayas and do the meditation where it is going to be cold, nobody is there, no food, nothing, right? You just have to do the meditation. How many of us will be able to do it? It's impossible for us to do. Lord Krishna is not giving that kind of a solution. Not saying that all of us have to become simply, sannyasis. Let us take that as a meaning where the sannyasi is the one who relinquishes the world and goes to a remote place and then starts meditating with very low, no food, almost no food, no contact with other people, things like that. That's not the meaning of sannyasi, but I'm just saying. So, but if that is a kind of life that we have to follow, then we'll not be successful. Or puts a lot of restrictions on us, saying that you have to, say out of 24 hours, you have to do 20 hours this particular activity. Again, we'll not be able to do that kind of a thing. So Lord Krishna is, giving us a solution which is suitable for us. Okay. So that is what the next sloka is going to be. So it's going towards that next sloka, which is very, very important and mostly misunderstood by a lot of people. Okay, we'll go to the next sloka. You can see sloka.
You can see.
Okay. Sloka 35. Sreyan swadharmo vigunaha
Jeeyar Svadharma Vijnana
Paradharma swanushthitat
Paradharma Swatisthita
Swadharme nidhanam sreyaha
Svadharma Nidhanam Shreya
Paradharmo bhayavaha.
Paradharma bhayavaha.
Let's chant together.
Shreya
Shreya
Svadharmo vigunaha. Paradharma
Paradharma
sunishtita. Swadharme nidhanam
Dhanam
shreya.
Shreyaha.
Paradharmo bhayavaha.
Lord Krishna is talking about Svadharma and Paradharma in this sloka. Okay. What do people understand by Svadharma and Paradharma? Anyone?
Yeah, this is a little bit complex, and I think, one way to understand it is Swadharma is based on our profession or our nature, what we are supposed to be doing.
Mhm.
We should not be forcing ourselves to pretend to be someone else. That one way to understand.
Yeah, just to add to that, exactly, right? I think what we prescribed to do, right, I think we are pretty much, I think something which I'm supposed to do, right? If I'm not a musician, I mean, I can always learn, but I can go to that and just maybe not musician, war, right? Fighting a war, right? I'm not, that's not this thing. So I can't just pretend that, okay, I mean, I can go and I'm ready for war and those kind of things. I mean, when I say ready for war, I need to, right, without going to the proper timing and things, right? That's not
Yeah.
my a cup of butter, what do they call it? A cup of tea or something like that, right? Which I just
So
follow
this
that.
is a very good example of, how to understand Bhagavad Gita within the context of that particular sloka. Okay. So some people just look at this and say, okay, Swadharma. Dharma means, for some people it's religion even. Their customs and religious practices. So they say, oh, you have to follow your religion, Swadharma, and Paradharma is other religion. So your religion is great and other religions are, dangerous. It is not religion, first of all. It is not religion here. Because Dharma, a lot of people understand it as religion. It is not religion. Okay. I mean, Lord Krishna never talked about any religion thing here in the entire Bhagavad Gita. So, follow. Then the second thing is, okay, follow your dharma. Then what kind of thing? Swadharma is, Swa means our, right? Our own. Dharma. So dharma is kind of loosely translated as duty. So follow, Swadharma is your own duty. Swadharma is your duty. Paradharma is others' duty. That is also, I mean, very closer to the meaning, but the real, it's not the real meaning here. I mean, within the context of this particular sloka, because Lord Krishna is talking about Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. Okay. Our Swadharma, I mean, our Swadharma is, Swa is our. So Swadharma is Karma Yoga. Our Dharma is Karma Yoga. Okay. He gave all the reasons earlier. Just before this particular sloka, he said, it is difficult for you. People do according to their nature. So you will not be able to do, you will not be able to give up everything and then focus only on jnana part. So performing our duties, which is karma yoga. So our swadharma is karma yoga here. The meaning in this particular context, because Lord Krishna is talking about karma yoga as suitable for us in all the previous slokas, And he said Svadharma is good. He's referring to the Karma Yoga, which is the concepts of Karma Yoga that he explained earlier, is the one that is your Svadharma. And what is the other than Karma Yoga? Other than Svadharma is Paradharma. Paradharma here in this particular context is Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga, which exclusively focusing on Jnana part only. Later on, we will understand that Karma Yoga is embedding Jnana Yoga, right? Jnana part is part and parcel of Karma Yoga. It's not like Karma Yoga does not have Jnana part. Karma Yoga also has Jnana Yoga as is embedded in it, but it is supporting Karma Yoga. Okay, so but exclusively focusing only on Jnana part and leaving all your duties, it becomes Paradharma for us. Our Swadharma is to practice our prescribed duties, which as Karma Yoga. So Karma Yoga is our Swadharma. So Lord Krishna here is saying, Swadharmaha vigunaha api sreyan. Okay, sreyan Swadharma vigunaha. So he's saying one's own prescribed duty, which is Karma Yoga, though practiced imperfectly, is better. Sreyan is better. Okay. So Karma Yoga, though vigunaha, you're practicing it, you're not perfect in it. You're will end about, okay, these are all the things that we need to do. Nirasihi, nirmamaha, nirahankaraha. We have to perform our activities, our prescribed duties, thinking that they are not our own duties, and without having expectations, offering the results to Paramatma and doing it as a yajna. So all these things that we learned earlier, that is Karma Yoga. So that Karma Yoga, which is our Swadharma, that is our prescribed duty, though it is imperfect for us in our practice, we are not, maybe we are able to remember, while say for example, while we are in this particular session, we remember Paramatma and doing it as Karma Yoga, right? But as soon as we come out of it, maybe we forget that, and then we think that it is my work, I'm doing it, my work is giving me the result. So that is imperfection. So this kind of performing the Karma Yoga sometimes and not sometimes, that is imperfectly performing, even that is better than what? Paradharmat swanushthitat, than another's duty. Paradharma is another's duty or other duty, which is pure Jnana Yoga. Okay. That is carried out in detail. Now, so I'm performing Karma Yoga imperfectly. I continue to perform. Then I'm able to perform, say, somebody may say, oh, how can that be better, right? Practicing Karma Yoga imperfectly, and on the other side, we have the Jnana Yoga. You're doing that in detail, kind of a perfect way. Okay. The reason is that we will not be able to sustain it. Okay. We may think that we are doing it. We are practicing Jnana Yoga, but we will not be able to sustain over a longer period of time because of all the reasons that Lord Krishna had given to us. Like our senses are not under our control. We have to take care of, we have to think of our survival, right? You can't simply sit somewhere and then focus only on Jnana part and then survive for years. We have to do some activities. So our body, which is made of nature, it requires to be, we have to eat food, we have to drink water, we have to clean our body, so we have to, in order for us to eat food, we have to get the food. How do we get the food? We have to do some work. So we cannot do everything by ourselves, right? So we have to work in a society where I do some work and somebody else does some other work, and then everybody work together so that everybody survives, right? Somebody grows rice. I mean, somebody is farming rice and another person is farming vegetables. So then I'm just giving an example. So then they can exchange and then both can survive, live happily, right? So it is, or one person becomes an engineer, another person becomes a doctor, another person becomes a soldier, scientist, everybody do their part, and everybody live together and they are able to survive. So I will not be able to survive if I focus only, everybody focuses on Jnana Yoga part only, right? So it is practicing Karma Yoga, even though it is practiced imperfectly, that is better than practicing Jnana Yoga in detail at that moment. Okay, because we will not be able to do it. Now, and then Lord Krishna is saying, Svadharme nidhanam shreyaha. Nidhanam is facing death. Okay, even facing death is better while engaged in Swadharma, while engaged in one's prescribed duty, which is Karma Yoga. Right? Paradharma bhaya avahaha is another's duty or other duty is Jnana Yoga is dangerous. So while performing Karma Yoga, even if we face death, even that is better compared to performing Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga is much dangerous. I mean,
Dangerous
so there
or
is
difficult, sir?
dangerous.
Oh.
Bhaya, it is like so it is like this. So if we say that you have to live for 24 hours in a minus 60 degrees centigrade, and you will get $1 million. Okay, I'm just giving an example. Compared to you live comfortably and you will get $1,000. Which one is better?
Live comfortably and $1,000 is better.
Right? Because minus 60 degrees centigrade will not survive. You will never see that $1 million.
Yeah.
People, so that is, filled with a lot of difficulties. Jnana Yoga is not easy. We will be, like, for example, without having senses under control, one person starts meditating. Okay, they will go through so much agony. Like they suddenly remember something, and then they will say, no, I should not remember this, right? So they try to bring their mind back towards, so which they cannot do. So they go through that agony, or they start feeling hungry. They don't have food. So they cannot live without that if they are not used to it. So they feel the pain of hunger. They feel the pain of all these memories coming to them. So they may go through these experiences which they are not designed for. Okay, so that's why it is dangerous for someone to practice which they are not used to. Karma Yoga You simply practice, which is suitable for you, okay, which is prescribed for you. I am giving you, so Lord Krishna is giving you that prescription, saying that, okay, this is what you are designed for. This is what you can do it, peacefully. Compared to Jnana Yoga. Of course, Karma Yoga is also difficult for a beginner, but compared to Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga is more suitable for us. That is our Svadharma. Our body is more suited to practicing Karma Yoga, because we have to do our own duties. I don't have to do something different. But only thing is, while doing the duty, how I need to do the duty. That's all is the different. The performing of the duty, there's no difference. I will perform the same duty without any difference. However, the bhava, how I perform while performing duty, what I think, that is different. To an outsider, it looks exactly same. Okay, they're performing their own duty. So, whatever, like, say a programmer is doing the coding, he's not changing his job. He's doing the same thing. He's getting the same salary, same, facilities he would have, same enjoyments he would have. Only thing is how he performs the activity, how he experiences the, whatever results that he's getting. That is different, right? So that is much better compared to something that is filled with a lot of danger, because we are not used to, our body is not used to. Now, there is one more thing, that if we are performing our duties, right, we are slowly reducing our karmic bondage. We are changing our, we are moving towards sattva, okay, sattvic nature. So when we leave this body and we get another body, we would go to the next stage where we can continue to perform karma yoga, right? So we don't have to start from the beginning. Whereas Jnana Yoga, there is no such thing. Like, we practice for, let's say, 10 years, and we do not get moksha, then you have to go back and start over. There is a the karmic bondage reduces as we perform our karmas, right? See, we learned that before also. So if I am supposed to do a particular duty, if I skip the duty, my karmic bondage is going to, I will not be eliminating whatever is the karmic bondage associated with that particular action. I will not be, I'll continue to carry that forward. Now, if this is something that somebody may think, oh, they're facing a lot of difficulties, and then they suddenly take some action to end their life. Their karma is not going to end there. It'll catch up, it will double, triple. So they'll have to even experience even worse situations in their next life. So if somebody is experiencing, say, bad results, going through some tough times, they're actually reducing their karmic bondage. Their karma is getting cleaned. The karmic bondage is getting reduced. Okay, so they should be happy about it. Anyone who is facing difficulties in their life, they're actually paying their debt off. Okay, so it's not like somehow Paramatma is biased and making them go through these bad experiences. No, it is all our karmic bondage which we are experiencing, and we should feel happy that, okay, it is over now. Like somebody, let us say someone has to get a fever for 3 days, and then when the fever is over, we should feel happy, right? When somebody, I mean, it's of course digressing from the topic a little bit, but COVID was a perfect example. A lot of people before getting, I mean, when, if let's say they didn't get the COVID, they were always under the tension, worry that, oh my God, I may get COVID, I may get COVID, and so they were always under that constant tension. But once somebody got COVID, 7 days, they experienced some bad, things. And then once it is over, they're so happy. They're simply going out and enjoying in the nature, right? They're without mask and everything, So they can say, oh, I got COVID. I'm not going to get COVID for next 2 months, right? So they were happy. So all the karmic experiences, I mean, even the good, auspicious things are better, good things that are happening to us. That's also, once it is past, we are not going to get that anymore. Okay, it's not like, oh, I am enjoying this now, and I will always have these enjoyments forever. Maybe, the next karma that is assigned to us may be different. Could be worse than what our experience currently is. So once people understand this karmic bondage concept, they will be able to understand their experiences in a better way. If they're having good experiences or bad experiences, those are the ones that are assigned to them. They're simply going through that. There is no escaping from it. So if, let us say, in order not to feel those things, right, if I don't do those activities, then that karma is not going to be removed from our records. It will still be there. And it will add more karmic bondage to us, saying that, okay, you didn't do this activity, right? So there will be some kind of a penalty on top of it. But once we practice it, it is over. Okay. So when we are practicing our duties, while practicing our duty, even if we face death, or I think understanding from the context why Lord Krishna mentioned death while performing duty doesn't mean that performing duty will always give us death. No, right? Even death is better when while we are engaged in our karma yoga, right? I mean, couple of reasons. Arjuna is in a situation where he is looking at death in front of him, right? If he fights, either he is going to die or the other people are going to die, isn't it?
Yes.
So even that death is better while performing karma yoga than you run away from the battlefield. Yes, and then focus on jnana part only. So for you, like for Arjuna, Lord Krishna is saying that while you are doing this duty of karma yoga, while you are doing your Svadharma, which is karma yoga, if you face death, that's better compared to if you run away and then focus on jnana yoga. Okay, so that is one way of understanding. Second way of understanding is that if we are facing difficulties, when we face difficulty, even while we are facing, let's say I perform performing my duty and I'm facing difficulties. Even those difficulties, even if it is filled with difficulties, performing your duty is better than running away from your duty. Okay, so for example, we had to go to office in winter, so we had to stand outside in the cold weather for, say, 20 minutes. So when we are performing the duty, or somebody who is a builder, who is standing outside in cold weather, so while performing the duty, they are facing hardships. even that is better than not performing duty and doing something else, because that is what is their prescribed duty is. If they skip that, they are going to face dangerous consequences. Okay. So from the difficulties part of it, or hardships, we can take that way. Nidhanam Shreyaha is even, I mean, even if the difficulties become so much that even if we face death, that is also better compared, because we are going to continue the journey that we have. As we mentioned, right? So karma yoga, you can go from one stage to another stage as we go from one body to another body, because we are clearing our karmic bondage. We are not. We are first of all, there are two ways of clearing. One is whatever karma we did, that particular karmic bondage is over, and because we are doing that karma as karma yoga, as service to God, we will be clearing more karmic bondage that was in our in our record. Okay, so why that is, Sri Swamiji has given as an example, like you have water is flowing in a pipe, and the pipe is full of what is that,
Rust.
not rust, say that small, the green stuff
Oh,
is
okay.
there, right? And while water is flowing, there's a lot of that mold,
Algae.
algae. So algae forms on the walls of the pipe. If it is slowly going, then that algae is not getting cleaned, right? But if the water is pumped through the pipe very fast, then it cleans the walls. It takes the dust away. Same way, while if we perform our karmas as karma yoga, then it will clean our karmic bondage, which is residual karmic bondage. So, which would have been assigned to us. Okay, if we did not do it as a karma yoga, whatever karmic bondage was there, it would have been assigned to us in future lives. By doing the karmas in this particular life as karma yoga, we are cleaning that karmic bondage from our records, so they will not be assigned to us. We will not have difficulties in focusing on Paramatma and all that. So we'll be on a faster path towards our goal. So that's why Svadharma is Shreyaha, okay, is better compared to Paradharma, which is dangerous. Okay, it is not religion. It is not it here in this particular context. It is not like Svadharma is okay. I'm a programmer. Svadharma programming is my Svadharma. I'm not a soldier. That is not Paradharma is being a soldier. It is not that context. Context is Svadharma, Karma Yoga. Okay, whatever may be the activity that is prescribed for us, we are doing it as Karma Yoga. That is our Svadharma, which is better than somebody else's dharma or some other dharma, which is Jnana Yoga.
So, Varprasad Garu, whatever you explained this, right? I am able to very, very much related to this, able to understand in Arjuna's perspective, like, he's running away. So Krishna is saying, which really
Yes.
makes sense. But if I extend that, in a broader vision, right? While following my Swadharma, like Karma Yogam, can I also follow the Paradharma? Is that dangerous or?
Can I also follow Paradharma? Okay, so when we completely understand the whole Bhagavad Gita, right? I mean, so Karma Yoga, is supported by Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga.
Yeah.
It is not disjoint, or it is not independent. All these are, so for some people who are capable of Jnana Yoga is, they are Jnana Yogis, they are also performing their karmas, you know. So Karma Yoga becomes a supporting for their Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga is prominent for them compared to, which is supported by Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. For some people, it is Bhakti Yoga supported by Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. So it is not like, Karma Yoga does not have anything to do with Jnana. First of all, without having the knowledge of the self, you cannot do Karma Yoga. Without having, without surrendering to Paramatma, we cannot do Karma Yoga. So, but we are not relinquishing our duties. We are performing our duties with the knowledge of the self, with the knowledge of Paramatma, with surrendering to Paramatma, doing it as service to God. So it is Karma Yoga does not mean that we don't have knowledge of Paramatma, we don't have knowledge of the self. Okay, so we will be practicing all of them, but they're like supporting. So this is the main role. Those are supporting characters in the movie. So for some that is the main role. Like bhakti is the main role, and supported by karma and jnana. So it will be like that. So it will automatically come to us. Because Karma Yoga is what is assigned to us, even, for example, Sri Swamiji is also practicing Karma Yoga, supported by Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. So Sri Swamiji does so many activities, service activities in this world, right, for the benefit of everyone. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, we'll move to Sloka 36. Sloka 36. Arjuna Uvacha.
Arjuna
Uvacha.
Arjuna.
Atha kena prayuktoyam
Athake
papam charati purushaha
Papa
Charati Purushaha
anichannapi varshneya
Anichannapi Varshneya
baladivanyojitaha.
Baladevaniyojitaha
Let's chant together.
Arjuna Uvacha
Athakena prayuktoyah
Papam
papam
charati
Purushaha
Anichannapi
Varshneya
Baladivanyojitaha.
So after listening to all these slokas, from Lord Krishna, Arjuna is now asking a question, right? So Arjuna is asking, hey Varsneya, O Krishna, Krishna who belongs to Vrishni dynasty, Vrishni. So hey Varsneya, athakena prayuktoyam. But or then, atha, kena prayuktaha, impelled by what? Ayam purushaha, this person. So this person here is one who is willing to practice Jnana Yoga or one who is who wants to relinquish, focus on the senses, sensory experiences and all that. The one, Kena prayuktaha ayam purushaha, impelled by what? This person, anichannapi, though unwilling, anichan, unwilling, though unwilling, papam charati, commits sin, balat niyojitaha iva, as if invited to it by force, as if someone is forced. So even though I don't want to do, even though I want to follow certain practice, okay, why people commit sins as if they're forced by something? What is that force? He's asking. Why people are doing like that? Why someone who is willing to practice Jnana Yoga is, unwillingly committing sin, not crime, committing sin, as if some force is acting on that person. What is that force? Why does a person act that way? Is what Arjuna is asking. A good question. Right? I mean, I really don't want to do it, but some force acts on me, and then I do it. Or I want to do something, but some force acts on me, and I don't do it. Right? What is that force that makes people to commit sin? The sin here is focusing on the sensory experiences, or getting overcome by the sensory experiences, or succumb to their senses and run after the senses. They simply run after materialistic pleasures, like normal people who run after the materialistic possessions, experiences, and pleasures. Why people are forced? Even some people, if they don't know, Jnana Yoga, they will do it anyway. But even if those people who have knowledge, they are also committing sin by running after the sensory experiences, materialistic pleasures, and all that. Why? Okay. So Lord Krishna is answering that question.
I want to ask a question.
Sure.
Like we have been, Lord Krishna has been discussing about Karma Yoga, and through up till 35th sloka, he talked about how you have to perform your duty, you have to remember me. Then on what context is Arjuna asking this question? Because what is the force for this sin? He has been discussing about Karma Yoga, and suddenly on what context? And I'm thinking that here we are going through a tangent, like why and what context is this question getting
Good
asked?
question. So, very good question. So far, he talked about Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga, right? Okay. So, karma, doing your Svadharma is better than Paradharma. Now, whoever wants to do that Paradharma, which is Jnana Yoga part, that person, he has the knowledge. Okay. He wants to practice the Jnana Yoga. But he runs after the senses. And committing sin here is, we shouldn't be thinking that, going and hurting anybody or something like that. Committing sin is just running after the senses is committing sin. Okay, focusing on not focusing on the self and focusing on materialistic pleasures, possessions, and those experiences. That is the sin. Okay, so I mean, you're saying, karma yoga is better for you, jnana yoga you cannot do. So why is that someone who is having the knowledge, why can't they do it? Why are they, what is that force that makes them, commit the sin of focusing on materialistic pleasures and not the self? Right? So the following slokas will actually be very, enlightening. What Lord Krishna has answered. It is applicable to all, not just the one who is focused on Jnana Yoga part. It is generally applicable for all. Okay, so let us chant Sloka 37. Sri Bhagavan Vacha
Shri Bhagavan
Kama Esha Krodha Esha
Kama esha krodha eshah
Rajo Guna Samudbhavaha
Rajo
samudbhavaha
Mahasano Mahapapma
mahashano mahapatma
Vidyena Mihawairinam.
vidyehamiha vairinam
Chandra,
Kama esha
Rajoguna
samudbhavaha mahashano mahapatma
Shano
vidyehamiha vairinam.
Mahavarinam.
Okay, so what is in the previous sloka, Arjuna asked Lord Krishna, why people commit sin of running after their senses, though they're unwilling, as if they're forced, into doing that, as if some force is acting on it. What is that force? So Lord Krishna is answering. Eshaha kamaha. It is desire. So root cause of all our problems is desire. Okay, so eshaha kamaha, desire. So that the reason why somebody is forced to run after the senses. What is that force? That force is the desire. That is longing for sense objects or running after sense gratification, all that, right? So that is a desire. Okay, and that desire, how does it get, developed in us? How does it come? It is based on Rajoguna, Raja Guna Samudbhavaha. So which is born of Rajas. Okay, Rajas is the name of the quality. So our nature has three qualities, right? Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. So this desire is born from that Rajas Guna, Rajas quality. And what is that? Lord Krishna is explaining that Kamaha, that desire, is Mahasanaha. It is all devouring, all consuming. Okay. So it wants everything, you know. I mean, there's nothing that it doesn't want, isn't it? And then Lord Krishna, so in the first line, Kama Esha, Krodha Esha, right? So we have to understand it in a slightly different order. So Esha, this, so he talked about desire. Desire is all consuming, all devouring, you know, never ending. So that Esha is, now he's again referring to that desire, the unfulfilled desire, because it's Mahasana, you can never fulfill it. No matter how much you eat, you still feel hungry only. So, I mean, if someone gets, $1,000, they want $2,000. Someone gets $2,000, they want $5,000, right? I mean, so there is no end to that desire, right? So that Mahasanaha, that Eshaha, that is this desire, which is unfulfilled desire. What happens to unfulfilled desire? When we have unfulfilled desire, it turns into Krodhaha. Krodhaha is the anger. We learned in second chapter, right? So desire, when it is unfulfilled, it turns into anger. Okay. And that anger is Mahapapma. It is a cause of great sin. Okay. Because in anger, people do things which they normally wouldn't do. They can commit, a lot of acts which are, which they, after the situation is over, after their anger is over, they'll think, oh, why did I do it? Right? So that anger makes people commit great sins. Okay, they hurt people, they shout, and or they commit a lot of activities which are not good, right? So Lord Krishna is saying, Vidhi enam iha vairinam. Vidhi is no, enam, this desire, iha vairinam, to be the enemy of this Gnana Yoga. So one who wants to focus on Gnana Yoga, I mean, this is applicable for everyone as well, but it is applicable for person who has the knowledge also. They are not, there is no exception to that person, right? If they have their senses are not in their control, they have desire, right? Then the desire turns into anger, and with anger they commit a lot of sins. So they run after senses, they commit lot of actions out of anger, commit sin, right? So that desires are the enemies for us. We can treat desire and anger as two separate, but actually anger is derived from desire only. The root cause of anger is desire. So starts with the desire, right? So desire is the force that drives us to commit sins. So the important thing here is to understand that Mahasanaha, desires can never be completely fulfilled. Okay, no matter how much we offer, it's like offering gas to the fire, right? So fire is burning, and if you put more gas, it is going to burn more. Put more gas, it's still going to burn more. So there's no end to how much somebody wants. Okay, so these senses are designed like that, unfortunately, if they're not in our control.
So is Krishna saying zero desire, or is there to some extent we can have a desire? Like suppose we write a book, right? We always want to see. May not be our goal, may not be money making, but at least like we will think, okay, if people read a book. So can we say that as long as that kind of,
Yeah. So a good question. So how do we control our desires? Is the question, right? How do we control our senses?
and to what extent? I mean, we cannot say zero desire. Maybe
We
desire,
cannot say zero desire means. I mean, there's
like,
no such
desire
thing.
can be good goal also, right? Like even this writing book. Suppose I write a book. So what kind of desire I should keep in my mind while writing? Definitely
That we
not.
have to do the activity properly, do our best in doing our duty.
Mhm.
So desire is typically associated with a result of some kind of a sensory pleasure that we get out of, or even a possession, right? I mean, I have a expensive jewelry or expensive car or house, or okay, that that experience that I get thinking, oh, I have this, or somebody praises, my desire to be praised. So I'm looking for some kind of a result that is favorable, beneficial for me from the perspective of my sensory satisfaction, sensory pleasures. It could be physical senses, or it could be our mentally, like when somebody praises, right? We feel happy. So my desire is to be praised by other people. Or in case of, um, say for example, I want to have a particular dish to eat, right? So that is another desire. I mean, so that is a result that we are looking for. We have a result that we want to experience with our senses. Okay. So we learned that desire starts from that dhyato vishayan pumsaha. So we are thinking about those vishayas. First, vishaya means objects of senses. So whatever may be the object of sense, we have 5 jnanendriyas, sensory organs, senses of perception. So the objects on which we experience something, we see a particular house, we see a jewelry, or we eat something, or we hear something that, oh, it's so great, I want to experience it. So once we so these senses, with these senses I want to experience that sensory object, and if I keep thinking about it, it turns into a desire. Okay, and when the desire is unfulfilled, it becomes anger. Okay, so instead of having that, considering it as a desire, convert it into a duty. So then there won't be any desires left.
Yeah.
Right. So there is no expectation on a particular sensory pleasure that we need to get in order for us to feel happy. If I do my duty, I get, let us say, $1,000. Fine. Or while doing the duty, I may enjoy certain things. Fine, no problem. While if I experience it during that time, I can experience without any guilt, no problem. But running after those sensory pleasures and changing our activities based on that is wrong. Right? So if let us say I do my duty and I am able to earn money and I buy a car if I have to go to office, no problem. I can buy a car that is that I can afford to. Okay. But looking at a car and then I want that car, and thinking about it for a long time, and then trying to earn money in order to get that car and buy that car and feel happy about it. That is, the difference, right? In one way, in one case, you are doing your duty and we are buying the car and experiencing whatever the car is. In other case, we are focusing on that experience itself and then doing the duty in order to get that particular car.
Mm.
So then it becomes a desire. So we focus on the duty and get the results and enjoy the results that we get as blessings of Paramatma, compared to desiring the results and doing the activities for the sake of results is wrong. That's not Karma Yoga. So desires, we shouldn't have any desires in that sense.
Mm.
So then somebody may say, oh, okay, then, let us say somebody wants to build a, build a temple or some, say, hostel, a building for handicapped people or school or, any service activity, or they want to serve food, food for, let us say, some people. So then is it a desire?
A good cause.
We may say, oh, I have somebody can say, oh, you have a desire to do it. See, whenever, whatever activity that we may do, it came in the previous slokas, but it is, it is hidden. We don't realize it. Whatever activities that we do, it is an activity that is assigned to us. It is not like I have a desire and then I invented in that particular activity in order to satisfy the desire. Okay, so who is assigning that activity to me?
Paramatma.
Paramatma. So that's why he said, people are born along with their duties, he said. So he has assigned the duties to us already. We can think it that way, or any activity that we do is a duty that is assigned to us by Paramatma.
Mm.
It is Paramatma's activities that we are doing. Then where is the desire? The desire is only to, I have a desire to serve you, that's all. I don't have a desire specifically for a particular, enjoying a particular sensory pleasure. So if my desire is to serve Paramatma, do the activities as activities of Paramatma. Okay, so then before starting any activity, we take Paramatma's permission to do it. There was a question, typically we get this question, right? Oh, I don't, when I go to temple, okay, I used to have desires, so I used to ask Paramatma, give me this, give me that. And so you said, oh, you should not have desires. Okay. Now, when I go to temple, what should I do? I can't ask anything. Right? I feel guilty of asking. Whenever we do any activity, we are taking Paramatma's blessings, Paramatma's permission to do that activity. Whether it is small or big doesn't matter. So we say, okay, God, I'm going to office today. Let me do this activity as your service. Okay. So that is, so we may be able to do it ourselves only. However, we don't think that way. We will earlier, without thinking of Paramatma, we were able to do it. Now, when we start, getting into this mode of Karma Yoga, we don't think that any activity is ours. That's it. It is none of the activities are ours. I'm not independently deciding this. I have this desire. I have to do this, or I have, whether it is good or bad doesn't matter. Activity is good. Activity is bad doesn't matter. I mean, of course, bad activities we won't do. And for good activities, so why do I have to take permission? If it is small or big, doesn't matter. For all activities, we first take, express our willingness, saying that Paramatma, I'm doing this activity. Bless me to use me as an instrument, or bless me to perform this activity. Again, no need to ask for a result. Whatever, if he is doing it, using me as an instrument, whatever result we get, that's what he wants. That is how we will think, right? So I'm just an instrument in doing it. So it is Paramatma who is doing it. Paramatma is the one who is the real owner of the results. Okay, so then there is no concept of selfish. Mama will go away completely for any activity. So that's where the nirmama comes. There was a question last week about, we say selfless, performing an activity as a selfless activity, but say that, we are focused on self. Looks like contradictory, right? So one example that we can think of is that, let us say, a house, some people are building a house. Okay. They are building the house from foundation to everything, right? The house is so beautiful. Okay. They are the ones who built the house. Now, who does the house belong to? I mean, I'm talking, like practical
Owner.
terms.
Owner.
The people who are building are the one who owns
Owner.
and assign the work to them. Isn't it?
Yeah.
For people who build the house, they are the ones who built it. Can they claim that the house belongs to them? The guy who, probably the owner of that particular place and who gave the money, probably never even came there. Okay, it didn't do a single thing. Well, the people who build the house worked so hard in, cold weather, rain, whatever, doesn't matter. They are the ones who really strive to make the house beautiful, can they say suddenly that, okay, I built the house, so this belongs to me? You were never there. They can't say that, right? So the one who is assigning the work to us, giving all the material, energy, everything to us, making us do the activities, doesn't mean that that result belongs to us. The activity belongs to us. In this particular case, in the example, the house belongs to the people who built it, or now they can rent the house or live in that house. Going forward, they can put a claim on that. No, they are doing kind of selfless activity. They don't ever think that this house belongs to me. Even so, when I'm doing the activity of building the house, they never think that the house belongs to me, belongs to somebody else. Okay, I'm just building it for that person. Same way, when we are doing any activity, that activity does not belong to me. The result of that activity also does not belong to me. That activity is assigned to me by Paramatma. Now, how do I know that activity is, Paramatma didn't come and say that you have to do the programming today, or become a doctor or engineer or whatever, right? So it is whatever activity that we do, we are doing it as service to God. Before we do the activity, we take his permission. I know in the olden days, for example, Arjuna, it was pretty easy. He was born into a Kshatriya family, and Kshatriya families are the ones who are the protectors, and that is a duty assigned to them. They simply follow the duty. They didn't have to figure out, oh, do I become a soldier or an engineer or a scientist or a doctor, a lawyer? And they didn't have to do all those things. It was simple for them. But for us, whatever activities that we are doing, generally service activities only, most of it are service activities that we are doing. We belong to service community. So any service activity that we are doing is the activity given to us by Paramatma, and we are performing that activity as at his direction, on his command, with the energy that he is giving us, and just do it, and the result belongs to him. So then there is no concept of a desire, my desire, coming into picture. It is Paramatma's activity. So there's no question of my desire coming into picture. So in the example of book that you said, right? So you're thinking that you'll think that the book is, I wrote a book. It's Paramatma's activity. That's it. So before writing the book, we pray to God that God, I'm an instrument. You make me write the book.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I think it's 9:36. Thank you so much. Sloka 37 is completed. We'll conclude with a concluding prayer. Kayena vacha sakalam Narayana Sarvam Sri Krishna Om Asmat Namaha. Jai Shrimanarayana. Jai Shrimanarayana. Thank you so much.
Jai Shri Ram.
Thank you, sir.
Jai Shrimanarayana.